Hi there, it's Anthony, your new host from Gunners of All Corners. I know. And what we're going to do now, we're going to give you that lovely intro.
Yep, thanks.
Hi there, and welcome to the Gunners of All Corners with your new host. Obviously, me, Anthony, it says it right there.
Yeah,
And I got another Arsenal fan with me, and his name's Anthony or Tony, whichever it is you want to be,
anyone.
what you want to be called.
I think Tony's okay.
Tony's
Everyone
okay.
calls me Tony. No matter
Yeah,
how many times I tell them, hey, it's Anthony. But no, they always
it
call me
doesn't sound
Tony.
right, does it? It doesn't sound
Exactly.
right. I'm the same. I've got a third in my name, and to be honest with you, I'd rather be called Tony as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, makes it
Right
more
there,
shorter.
Tony's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's right. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
So obviously, it's my first time of doing this show, which I'm looking forward to. We've got a few things to talk about,
yeah,
Tony. So you just give me a chance. There we go. So obviously, what we are going to talk about, we're going to talk about the reaction to that devastating loss of Man United.
yeah,
Basically, obviously we lost 3-1, and obviously I wasn't happy, mate. I was actually watching. I was drowning my sorrows after the game.
yeah,
So in your own words, if you'd like to tell us what your thoughts and your opinion of the game, and
yeah.
also the fouls that was led in the game as well. So if you want to talk about that, you can do.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Coming to this match that was played, last weekend, Arsenal was on a high. We were really, really on a high. Winning your first five games, at a trot, and having all that hyper mentality, all that uh, that like this kind of like the media is looking straight at you, and you have lots in, there's this kind of like expectation, that podcasters, big time media, all, they're all waiting for Arsenal to implode. But Arsenal winning the first five matches and getting into that Manchester United match were on a high. Manchester United at the time have already lost the first two matches, uh, especially one brutally in the hands of Brentford. If you could remember that match,
Yeah, I remember.
Tony.
Yeah,
So, in other words, coming into that match, we still felt that Manchester United was a bit shaky. You still had that feeling that,
yeah,
they were still porous at the back. You still have that feeling like the Maguire captaincy is still, running in between the heads of that back four. You look at Varane coming in, for Maguire. And then in that Brentford game, we also saw where Martinez was being run ragged by Ivan Tony. To be very fair, Ivan Tony is one of the most devastating strikers right now in the Premier League. So, I'll
he
just
is.
be
Yeah,
fair. I'll just quite be fair on him. Uh, but coming into that match, Manchester United executed a very, very good game plan against Liverpool. They were able to get that precious win, against Liverpool. And of course, the next match they played was against Leicester. Mind you, they also got that win, that precious win against Southampton. Uh,
yeah,
and again, after that first last three matches Manchester United had, uh, there was this growing sense of mentality that they had that, hey, we could allow teams actually play, do all the playing, have all the possession, and we could just execute a perfect game plan and just sit back, watch these teams lay siege on us, and then hit them on the counter attack. And of course, when you have fast pacey players like a Rashford who is speedy, racy, ready to run, ready to rumble. Of course, he hasn't found his shooting boots this season, but of course, he's always a danger still because of his pace and what he gives to Manchester United offensively. So Manchester United decided to just, okay, we'll sit back. We know Arsenal like to go up front in the first 10, 20 minutes. They like starting, in that very, very fast pace, high intensive kind of play. But the game twisted all up on Arsenal because Manchester United had the possession for the first 20 minutes. For the
Yeah,
first 10, 15 minutes, Manchester United were actually, they were actually in the game. They came out swinging. Then later on, Arsenal, got back into the rhythm and got into the game and started playing.
yeah. I mean,
And yeah,
to be honest, it was like what I said. I mean, the game. I mean, I think we don't well, we dominated some of the game, didn't we? And obviously a bit
exactly.
Manchester United. You couldn't, even though we went 1-0 down at halftime and then coming out into the second half. I thought in the first half, I thought you couldn't split anything between the two teams. To be honest with you, in the first half, I thought we were
Yeah,
both good. Obviously in the second half, Saka
yeah.
come in and scored, made it 1-0.
Made it one
I
0.
saw that, yeah, and from there, I don't know what it was. Our defense, literally, it just fell apart, didn't it? And then produced all these gaps in which Manchester United was exploiting, and obviously that was when they turned on their show and scored another two goals. But Manchester United's last goal, for me, how I feel, was well, our defense was nowhere. The only defender that was actually on the pitch
Yeah,
in the right area at that time was Ben White. He was the only remaining defender because all our players were over on the far side because they scored from the throw in.
yeah,
So do you know what I'm saying? And I
yeah.
felt I felt
Exactly.
I felt sorry for him, but I mean, what else can you do against top quality players?
Top
And I
quality
mean,
players.
and Anthony to make his debut and score on his debut, I thought he was, I thought he was
It,
really good, and it
yeah.
surprised me when he took him off as well.
Uh, See, I'm someone that's very, very crazy about statistics in matches. I'll just take you through a run, through a rundown of the statistics in that match.
Yeah,
Arsenal had a ball possession, total possession of 61%. Manchester United, 39. Anthony, listen, this is in Old Trafford.
yeah,
There's a difference. There's a difference.
yeah,
I'll run you through some of them also. Goal attempts, Arsenal 16, Manchester United 10. Shots on goal, Manchester United 6, Arsenal 3. Manchester United shots off goal 3, Arsenal 8. So basically, Arsenal turned up into Old Trafford and dominated that game that day. And of course, when you're playing a 4-3-2-1, which is what Arsenal plays and
yeah,
what Manchester United also plays, there's always going to be a clash of styles, definitely, because they're playing the same kind of styles. One player up front, Gabriel Jesus, and Rashford, of course, was up there for them. Uh, there was always going to be a clash of styles, and definitely because Mikel Arteta plays in a certain way that he loves to go offensive, but he's also known as a defensive coach also. So
mm,
for you to just expose your defenders like that, then you know that there's a problem. And what was that problem? Thomas Partey was missing.
yeah.
Anthony, what do you think?
Well, to be honest with you, it was, my opinion of it is Thomas Partey, he was missing. He was injured. Odegaard played, but in the last game against Aston Villa, he picked up a knock. And also our goalkeeper Ramsdale, we was led to believe that he was going to be doubtful for the game. But in all fairness, before the game,
Yeah,
in that week, they didn't
yeah,
train.
yeah.
So what Arteta did was actually picked out the squad and that said, right, there you go, you're playing, you're in the team, you're here, you're there, and that, and
Exactly.
they have new training. So to be honest with you, they weren't really 100% fit anyway. But I mean, it was a good game in total. You know, it was entertaining. I mean, obviously, apart from the scoreline and obviously how poor our defense was, I think Lukonga. I think don't get me wrong, he's not a bad player, but I think what would suit him is if he actually went on loan and got more game time under his belt.
More get. You've just hit the nail on its
Mhm.
head, Anthony. See, there's something about loan deals, good loan moves that
Yeah,
actually improves players. Look at this certain truck, absolute truck we have at the back called William Saliba. We bought him
yeah,
from Saint Etienne, loaned him back to Saint Etienne. When he came, kicked the ball a few times. Mikel Arteta said, "Hey man, I don't really think you're good enough for the team." And of course, the media uproar was mad at the time against Mikel Arteta. And he came back from loan. He said, "Hey man, I don't think you're up there yet. You're not up to scratch yet. Go back on loan, prove yourself." It went to Marseille. It played against the best of the best in the French league, and he even there was even a match where he just outmarked Mbappe, outmarked Messi, all top players in the French league was being malhandled by Saliba. And now coming in
mm,
this season, Arsenal had a problem in choosing their first choice centre back. And of
yeah.
course, that's why Ben White has been moved to that coveted right position, because you cannot bring a player in the mode and the stature of Ben White, not because he's such an outstanding player, but because
Mm,
his English one is pure blood, is English
yeah.
one, and secondly the price tag that he's coming from Brighton. It's not a small price tag. Arsenal
No.
spent lots of money to get Ben White, so they can't just put him, there on the bench to rot. He has to play, and for
He has,
Saliba
yeah.
to come back from loan to do that, it's something huge, Anthony.
Well, yeah, it's something new, yeah, and it's like it boosts up our defense as well. In it because we've pretty much got rid of all of our dead wood, haven't we? You know, I mean,
Yeah,
obviously
exactly.
Chambers is gone now, and who else is gone there? There's a few others that's obviously gone there as well. So
Chambers, Chambers,
Ch-
Chambers is gone. Mustafi.
this stuff,
See,
yeah,
Anthony, the list goes on. You know, Arsenal hasn't really been performing quite well in that transfer market. We've had a lot of
yeah,
deadwoods in that team, so that's why I'm a bit, skeptical about people that call for the head of Mikel Arteta all of a sudden, because this guy needs time. He needs time.
yeah,
He needed to get the deadwood out of that team, for us to have the new ones now. And you can completely see what's doing with that team. We went into Manchester United having a ball possession of 61%. In previous seasons, we'll go down, we get completely battered at Old Trafford. Of course, our famous loss down there in Old Trafford, 8-2. It, it, Manchester United is our boogie team.
yeah, yeah. They are. They definitely are. So is to be honest with you, it's like what you said. The games that we played at the start of the season, you know, we was winning. We've won them all. We've had 15 points. I do feel
Yeah,
that against Manchester United, this was actually our main tester. You know, this was
yeah,
our tester because I think you look at the teams we played and obviously the teams we beat. They're either bottom of the league, round about 14th, and let's say round about 12 or 10th or something like that. So
yeah,
you know, is obviously we are capable of beating these teams. You know, obviously going into last season, we played last season. We ended up losing 2-0 to Brentford, didn't we? First game of the season last
Yeah,
season. So it's and then Chelsea, followed by Chelsea and Man City. I think we were still bottom with 4 games into the Premier League last season.
to
You
the
know,
Premier League. Yeah, we're
so
in relegation waters at the time. People
that was
even
right.
thought that we'll get, we'll go on relegation that season. In our first 3 matches this season, we actually equaled the goal tally one, and we also equaled the goal tally of the first 3 games of the last season. So when we were getting battered by Brentford, in London, getting battered by Chelsea, and also getting battered by Manchester City, and then this season we turn over a new leaf, and we're beating these teams at the start of the season. We're going behind in scores, and we're coming back to beat these teams. For example, Fulham, we went down by a goal. We came back. We also showed our mentality in the game against Leicester City. We go, they score, we score. And there's this mentality that I'm seeing. When Arsenal is actually going down in goals, the boys are really fighting. Martinelli is fighting. He's in there. Gabriel Jesus is fighting. They're all fighting. They form this kind of pack of wolves, and they just go all out on that attack. That's a change of mentality I've seen this season. In previous season, we'll get completely turned over. We'll bury our heads in shame, and from there it just goes downhill, and then we lose the game, or we manage to barely scrape a draw out of the game. So this season there's a complete change of mentality from Arsenal Football Club. The only problem is, are we having squad depth that is enough for Mikel Arteta to perform his duties? I still have a problem with that, Anthony.
I still have a problem with that. Yeah, to be honest with you, I think our weak area at the minute is DN because everybody, like obviously we got Party out injured, we got Shaka there, that um, you know, let's be honest, most Arsenal fans doesn't like.
Yeah,
And then we got
exactly.
Lokonga and El Lenny's out injured as well. So it makes you think, like, I mean, I would have liked a DM. I mean, I think on the last day of the transfer window, they wasted too much time on that Villa one, that Douglas Luiz trying to get him. Um, 3 bids gone in, 3 bids turned down, and then being told he's not for sale.
Yeah, exactly.
They should have went back.
Guys, please smash the like button for me and Anthony down here, my namesake. Please smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you've not subscribed, and just keep sharing this stream as we keep going on and give you good content down here. Yes, Anthony, you were saying something, brother.
Yeah, if you could do that, guys. Yeah, it was just that we just wasted time on it. We should have went back to our plan B, and then we'd got Tillemans, but obviously it wasn't to be. But then again, I think Arteta he might
Anthony, you
got
keep
something
bringing
else.
the heat. You keep bringing the heat, man. Where was our bid for Tillemans? Tillemans lives in Leicester City. Obviously, he plays for Leicester. Uh, during the transfer market period, because I'm also a transfer market guru somehow in a way, and he actually sold his house in Leicester in hope that Arsenal was going to come for him and he was going to move to London. In fact, that move was as good as done.
Mm,
And Arsenal's bid never came for him. Now, on deadline day, you're going for a Douglas Lewis, who is the third to fourth choice on that on that area that he's actually playing for Aston Villa. And Aston Villa spanked us right in the face, toiled with the Arsenal, a little bit, telling us to bring 20 million pounds, asking us for 23, and then telling us 25. And at the end of the day, telling us to, just go away. We're
right,
not, we,
yeah.
we're not selling Douglas Lewis. How many times do we have to be battered, completely disgraced in that manner in the transfer market? Yeah, we did good deals, but every Arsenal fan knew. Anthony, would you tell me? I want you to be very objective in this now, Tony. Would you tell me that coming into the season with the antecedents of Thomas Partey, do you want to tell me right now that you never had an hint that Thomas Partey, somewhere down the line, somewhere, maybe at the beginning, maybe at the middle, maybe at the end, but somehow, Anthony, deep down in your heart, you did know that Thomas Partey was going to come up with an injury, didn't you?
No, I didn't know. No.
Well, well, that answers it. He was gonna get an injury one way or the other,
I know he had a
and
few injuries when he was at Atletico Madrid and that, but obviously when we bought him, we were told that he was injury free. There was nothing wrong with him. He was fine, 100% fit. And then he come in, he played a few games, and then he got injured, didn't he? So we had to play a few games without him, which we struggled. We did struggle without him, but and that's it now. So, but yeah, regarding to the Man United reaction, it was good
yeah,
game and all, but it was just a shame. Well, shame on the result basically. So
yeah,
that's
that result was a big shame, and
yeah,
of course, Anthony, the reason why we're talking. Good evening, Matthew Bassett. You're welcome to the show. Welcome. Uh, see, Anthony, that 3-1 shouldn't have been the score line because we really miss Thomas Partey. It's out there. It's just out there. It's just laid bare for us to see the kind of work that guy does in that team. Because the kind of freedom at which Ericsson was operating deep in that midfield. Fernandez even coming, taking a step backwards because Fernandez was, roaming around that number 10 area. And then he came back, most of the time to support Ericsson with defensive duties. And you could also see Anthony, taking that runs, making those runs back to help Malaysia down at the back. And that is the kind of defensive discipline that Ten Hag brings to his teams, mostly in Ajax of Amsterdam. And then he brought it to that Manchester United team. They have good squad in depth. And, it was just laid all bare for us to see. They got the 3 points on the day. They weren't the best team, but they got the 3 points because they knew all of Arsenal's loopholes. And, they just made use of,
yeah, that's right.
of that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go through a couple of comments here. So is
Yeah.
Music United TV with us, Matt. Big up, Matt.
Big up,
And
Matt.
is Solo from the Man United Agenda. He's giving us a big up. Big up, Solo. I hope you're well, mate.
Big up to you, man. You're welcome to the show. Smash the like button here.
And Football Sport Talk. More here too. Arsenal dominating position lately. Look at us versus Yorick and Man United lose the decision. Laugh out loud. Well, that is true. Yeah,
That's
I did
true.
enjoy that.
That's true. Yeah, me and Anthony will be going into that Zurich match. It wasn't the best match, out there that we've played. But of course, you need to understand that this is our second string team. And it's very,
Yeah.
very important to understand this that we need to have squad in depth to be able to play the Europa League. We can see from that match yesterday that these teams are not coming to just play with us and say, hey, Arsenal, hey, Manchester United, you're welcome. Let's have a tickle. No, they're ready to
Mm.
play. They're ready to play. They will go at you. They will go at you. They come with lots of pressure. And mind you, FC Zurich, yeah, they're a small team, but mind you, they're also the Swiss champions, also, Anthony. So they come with lots of reputation, at least, in that Swiss league. So they came to do damage. And of course, when you're given a debut run out into the first team and ushering someone like McQueen, giving him his first debut start, and also giving Fabio Vieira, it's very important that we have to see these players. Anthony, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I watched the highlights on the game as well. I mean, going up, scoring our first goal, then it was 1-0. And I thought,
Yeah.
oh, blimey, what's going on here then? I just didn't want to first defeat, knowing that we just recently gone back into Europa League playing. I thought, just play your first game, and there's nothing important than get your first win. and that was what I wanted. I was hoping the scoreline to be more higher, to be honest with you. I wanted like a 3-1 or something like that, or four
Yeah.
one maybe. But then again, he did change the team around, and I forgot his name, the Brazilian who played on the wing, the new guy. He
McQueen's. It's called
Lacuna.
McQueen's.
Yeah,
McQueen's.
he
Great
scored on
player.
his
Absolute
yeah.
classy player. Absolute classy player. And see, we have a comment here. Anthony, could you take us to the last comment down here from Matthew Bursett? Can we go to that
Oh,
last
that's
comment down there? He says something very funny, but within that funny stuff, there's something very, very serious. He was saying there, you were playing Swiss farmers. Could you pull that up? So let's see. Is it
oh, sorry, yeah.
possible?
There we go. Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
Matthew Barr said, big ups to you, brother. You said something here. You said you were playing Swiss farmers. Do you really think so that we're playing Swiss farmers? The Swiss farmers scored Arsenal first. This same Swiss farmers scored Arsenal first. But you know what, Matthew, you raised a very, very concrete point here, and I would also like Anthony to look into this with us. The
Yeah,
biggest
I mean,
test,
we
yeah,
think Matthew.
okay, yeah,
Go on. No, go on.
yeah, sure. The biggest test of any team, it's not by beating any team, uh, 4-1, 5-1 on the day, beating minnows 3-4-1. But what really had back end when you're pushed against the wall? We need to know if this Arsenal team can actually grind out wins. And we're actually seeing that right now. So it shows that the coach is working because I see, yeah, Anthony, I really want to know because I gave Ateta this season. If he doesn't get a trophy for us, mm, mm, then I think the jury should be out for him. But right now, I'm seeing a change of mentality. It was very different when we're going to Manchester United and absolutely in Old Trafford and absolutely piped down there. Go to places like Anfield, absolutely destroyed, and go to Manchester City and just get piped down there with loads of
Yeah,
goals. But it's nice that we actually saw an Arsenal team against this minnows go down and coming back and fighting. And then we saw Eddie Nketiah, just like what me and Anthony were saying before, the mentality of that team. He was a culprit at the back for us, causing a penalty. And the next moment, he's scoring a goal. Martinelli saw a goal, got into the net, and he's also running to score the goals against Leicester. We'll go down against Fulham, and we're going down there to score the goals against Fulham. The strikers, they're aware. They're aware. So there's a push. There's a sudden change in that mentality of that team right now that I'm seeing. So I just want to see us go to places like Manchester City and go to a place like Anfield for me to get a true test of this team's potency.
yeah, yeah. I just see where you're coming from. Yeah, I mean, we seem to be all right in attack. I would like one more striker, but obviously our problem is at the back in the defensive area of the midfield. That's where I
Yeah,
think our problem is. Our main problem is.
definitely,
Anyway,
definitely,
yes.
definitely.
I just got to
Anthony,
school,
you
but
also said something. You also said something very important. McQueeness, you brought out something very important. McQueeness.
yeah,
Anthony, I will take you back. I'll take you back to last season and to the past two seasons. You know, obviously, you knew who was our player of the season for the past two seasons, right?
yeah,
Saka was our best player for the
yeah.
past two seasons. This bloke has been overused, overran. He's tired. And
Mm,
Anthony, there's a testament to that. You could see his output this season has dropped. His level of performance has dropped. He's been overused and he's just a kid. It's not like 25, 26, 27 in his prime, ready to take on the world. He's a young guy and he needs to be, used sparingly. But
yeah,
right now, we've overused them. So it's very good, very good that we saw Marquinhos, in which you related your comments to,
Yeah,
come down there in the heart of Switzerland and show what it's
yeah,
all about. Scoring that debut
yeah. And I
goal
think
on his debut in the
that
senior
player is,
team.
yeah, and that other new player we've got as well, Vieira, who comes from he looks promising. You know, he came on the sub against the Man United game, but yeah, he didn't have a bad game as well. He's quite fast, but somebody said to me his stats, you know, apparently his stats are right up there with like the good players as well, like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
high
it's up
rated
there.
players as
It's up
well.
there. It's up there. It's
So,
up there.
but yeah, but then again, I mean, obviously he's got to get used to the English Premier League, and I think I think he might adapt to that quite well. Actually, I think he'd do well,
He's already
and
adapting. He has been playing in the under 23s and he has been banging in goals down there. So, I
yeah,
think Saka would have a good run for his money, mostly because he's also bickering on his new contract. So I
that's
think
right.
this
Yeah,
is this goes as a foil for that procession in which Saka is holding right now. Matthew Bassett, you said something here.
anyway,
Anthony, could you
if I just
go?
do that, I just want to say
Yeah.
evening to Matthew Bassett first of all. Um, he sees big up everyone on the show and in the chat as well. Good lad, Matthew Bassett.
Yeah.
And
Big up,
the midfield got
Matthew.
Scott. He's given us stick for Sunday on Sunday's game. He said our
For
midfield was
Sunday's games,
good
he's
on
just
Sunday.
running us ragged.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
Man United fan,
I know, I know.
and
There is a
like,
comment he dropped at the last part. I think that's the last
what's that?
comment.
Where does the Swiss league
Yeah.
compare with this one here? Yeah, yeah. Where does the Swiss league compare against the Spanish, the English, the French, the German, Italian leagues? How do they
Okay.
basically how do they compare? Your
Um,
thoughts, Tony?
Matthew. Um, a good coach, a very very good coach, a solid coach, lost his job this week. I'm very sure you know who this coach is. Uh, Thomas Tuchel, and he lost against Dinamo Zagreb. A team like Dinamo Zagreb cost Thomas Tuchel his job. So when you bring this comparisons, Swiss league, English, French, German, Italian league, just remember that Croatian minnows, Dinamo Zagreb, cost Thomas Tuchel, a Champions League winning coach, his job this week. I rest my case, Matthew. Anthony, do you have anything to say to that?
It just sees where the Swiss league compare against the Spanish, the English league. Well, we all know that the English league is in my opinion, is the best league, is the fastest league out of all of them anyway. So that's my opinion on that. The French is they're not as fast as what they used to be. Neither is the Italian league. I think the Italian league has got a bit slower as well. So I used to watch Italian league years ago, and what compare from years ago until now, that's gone a bit
Yeah,
slow. German league, I think the German league is still around about the same how it was. The Spanish
yeah,
league is still the same. That's still good. You know, obviously, we're your Barcelona's, your Real
yeah.
Madrid's.
Actually, he was actually
Well,
comparing the Swiss league. It's kind of like a dig on on the opponent's Arsenal face. So that's what he's trying to say there. You know,
I
so
maybe
that's
that's
why I
what he's
was
trying.
running. That's why I
Yeah,
was running him through
yeah. Maybe
the
he was trying to
Croatian
say that,
league
but
because the
I was just
Croatian league
comparing them
just
all
cost.
as in sequence. That's what I was doing anyway. So, but yeah,
Exactly.
but
So if Mikel Arteta went into that game against Zurich and lost that game, trust me, the spotlight will be on Mikel Arteta because
oh,
we're in the
God.
season of sacking coaches right now. Trust me, Thomas Tuchel won't be the only coach to lose his job. Many other coach, their jobs is on the line right now. Brendan Rodgers,
Yeah.
is out there. He's out there.
But
The
it just
jury's
makes me
out.
think, no matter what, I think it's since 1995 up until now, I think Chelsea's had around about 20 different managers, so in total. So they seem to keep him in for a few seasons.
Yeah.
If they didn't win anything in that, or depending on many games they win, if they're not pulling the strings there, the manager, they're gone.
Yeah,
But
they're
it's like
gone.
what I said, now the Brighton manager's gone there now, and Graham Potter, he's the manager of Chelsea. So
Yeah,
it makes me think how long he might last for. I mean, but only time will tell. With Graham Potter,
only time
it
will
surprised
tell.
me he
Only
actually left.
time will
'Cause
tell.
he was actually doing things at Brighton. I thought he would want to try and do
I,
something
I
more with
rate him.
Brighton
I
first.
rate him.
Then yeah, yeah, he's a good manager. Don't blame
He's a,
Chelsea for going for him
he's a
though.
good man. I rate him. I rate him.
Yeah,
Uh, although this is all coming from that storm that Eric Bailly, who's now in Marseille, was a former Manchester United defender who had problems with English players playing before him. You know, I don't know if you heard of that, Anthony. Did you hear of that?
no, not into that. No,
Oh,
no.
okay. It caused a big storm in England,
Yeah,
and in the football world. Yeah, it really caused a storm. So, and right now, Chelsea is bringing in an English coach. You know, just right away, just after Eric Bailly said that most coaches are favoring English players. So there's this thought that okay, maybe these English clubs are actually looking at their own, you know. But again, I really think that Potter has really he's really showed his stuff in that Brighton team. I think it's only good. He has his chance in Chelsea.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think you do really well, Potter. Obviously, the player that Sunshill's got in, obviously, he's going. I think he's going to come up with his own, isn't he? Obviously, he might use a few of them, and mix and bring in some players himself and trying to mix them up. Obviously, he's not
Definitely,
going to keep every single player that's there. He's going to want every manager's the same. They got their own plans, their philosophy, the way they want them to play, and obviously the best players to pick to do that like sort of thing. So I think they're going to be in the transfer market again. I reckon they'll spend a bit more money after when the window opens after the World Cup.
definitely.
I think you might see some departures go in there. Look, so it's
Yeah.
going to be an interesting one with Chelsea. But
Very, very interesting one. Very interesting one.
yeah,
And back to that
yeah,
Europa League win, Anthony, what would you say? Manchester United played at home at Old Trafford and lost to Real Sociedad. Uh, this is the Europa League. Come on. If Matthew
yeah.
Basket is a Manchester United fan, well, you lost yesterday to Spanish minnows, Real Sociedad. So, what are we talking about here? It's the Europa
Yeah,
League.
I mean, to be honest with you, it really surprised me actually because I thought Man United was actually going to win. I mean, obviously, I was
Yeah,
going to give them the credit because how they've been doing in recent form within the league. I know they lost their first two league games, but
yeah,
obviously, they were rock bottom. They won three games in a row, and that automatically sort of pushed them up to like fifth position, if you like, in the top five. And
yeah,
um, and obviously the win on the weekend against us. So I think it's time that I mean, Ten Hag, they got a good manager there. They're going to
yeah.
get a couple of more players in that as well. So yeah, I think they're going to do well. It's a shame really because it's like us, when you get your first Europa League, game in that you don't really fancy losing it your first one, do you? Like sort of thing. But unfortunately to Man United, they have, and we won our first one. But
Yeah,
to me, it depends who's better on the day as well. It
yeah,
depends who's better on the day. And
exactly. But again, Anthony, what is going to boil down to in this Europa League is squad in depth.
hmm,
Does Arsenal as a team have squad in depth? I'll take you back to that Manchester United game, Anthony. When you're looking at that Manchester United setup, they just brought in an Anthony for £85 million from Ajax of Amsterdam.
yeah,
Uh, and then you look at their bench. Just take a look at the bench that was there. They had Fred on the bench, a valid
yeah,
player, a cool player.
yeah,
Is there. He can hold his own amongst players. You have a club legend in Ronaldo sitting on
yeah,
the bench, Anthony.
yeah,
You have a legend in Casemiro, a four-time Champions League winner,
yeah,
sitting right there on the bench. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm not saying this is anything huge, but take a look at Arsenal's bench, and then we're bringing in an Nketiah, we're bringing in Fabio Vieira, uh,
Yeah.
and and we're also looking at someone like a Smith Rowe. I'm not saying in any way that these players that Arsenal are bringing in are not good players, but you can see the level.
But you can see the level, yeah, you can see the depth. I mean, look at that as well. The 80 million pound defender, Man United's got Harry Maguire on the bench. So it does make you think. I mean, you look at the Man United lineup in the team, you think, okay, yeah, fine, that's great, first 11 and that. And
Yeah,
then you go to the bench and then you think, bloody hell, look at the players he got on the bench. At the minute, I don't, and I don't know whether you're going to agree with me on this or not, but I don't think Arsenal's quite there with players yet. When he's got the
exactly.
first 11,
I
and then you've got the
completely
bench
agree with
players
you,
on the bench.
Anthony.
So this is where Arteta he's got obviously it'd be the window now after the World Cup if he does get any players in. But
I still
I
don't
think I
think it's
think
Arteta. I still don't think it's Arteta. I think it's the board. I think it's the board. Arteta is not the one recruiting players. Want to recruit players. Edu is the one at fault for not going into that market, dipping his hands into that market, and buying a replacement for Thomas Partey. That alone can cost us this league right now. Because, it, of course, if you listen to my podcast in any way, you would know that I pronounced that Arsenal was going to win this league this season before we started with our wins. And that's because I've seen the kind of work that Arteta and the foundation that he has brought into that team. And we could see it in the first 5 games this season. Apart from that, why in God's name didn't Edu go into the market and get a replacement for Thomas Partey? Because that alone can cost us. Anthony, have you thought right now, if a player in the mode of Gabriel Magalhaes gets injured, what do you think would happen? Okay, that's even a harder one. If a Gabriel Jesus right now turns up injured,
yeah,
what will happen? We'll now start relying on Eddie Nketiah, and
Eddie
now that's
Nketiah.
that's factory reset
Yeah,
all
that's
over
facts. But
again.
in all
JC
fairness,
Bond all over again. Deja vu,
yeah,
amnesia all
yeah,
over again.
I don't. I mean, don't get me wrong. I suppose Eddie Nketiah, people might have his opinions on him. I don't think he's the answer that Arsenal's what Arsenal needs. I don't think he's the answer at all. I always classified him as a championship player, but most probably he's a championship player that can most probably score like 20 goals in his championship. Do you know what I mean? Instead of like he won't do that at Arsenal. He just wouldn't.
That,
I'm
that that
sorry,
was
but
a that was a pretty hard hit, you know.
yeah, it
That
was.
was a
Yeah,
hard hit. But Anthony, you of all people should at least agree with me that Arsenal should have been in the market for another striker. Where's the replacement for Lacazette? I still see a Gabriel Jesus as a replacement for Aubameyang when he left, but where is the replacement for Lacazette?
there ain't.
Where is
There's
it?
not.
Where
There's
is
not
it?
one.
We,
There's not
we
one.
need that. We need that. And why
Yeah.
aren't we going? Why aren't we in the market for an Ivan Tony? And Ivan Tony
Well, he's a
has
good
the
striker.
pedigree.
Apparently, I don't quote me on this, but I think is it 6 goals now in 6 games or
Yeah,
something like that for
yeah,
Ivan
yeah,
Toney?
Anthony. Is
So
that lethal? Is that lethal?
yeah,
Why is the club not going for him? Why didn't we
I
bring
don't
him?
know. I
Why?
don't know.
You know,
I think he's got. I think he's got trying to get the players in for cheap, and maybe probably the players that can come in and link up with sort of play, the style of play that Arteta wants. Anyway, I'm going to go to some comments here. Another one from
yeah.
Matthew Besser, but the difference is that Man United are laying the foundations on a rebuild. Arsenal have already rebuilt under Arteta. I-
But
maybe,
I
maybe
still
not
think that
with,
that rebuild will take time anyway, because
yeah,
you're not rebuilding with youth. You're rebuilding with mature players. And I'm sorry, in after at was 3 seasons, these players
yeah,
will they'll ride across that sunset, and then you'll be in the same position you're in. So you also
yeah,
need to, of course, they are bringing in youth. Malacia is there, Anthony's was a good buy. But then when you splash out cash and buying players like Varane and buying players like a Casemiro, and you cannot be able to let out or find a good outlet for Ronaldo to leave the club, then I'm
yeah,
sorry, you'll face the same thing you're facing in a couple of seasons. And mind you, the person who has brought life to your midfield is Ericsson, and Ericsson had his best years for Tottenham and Inter Milan International. Uh, I'm very very sorry. He has a heart problem. It's not our fault that he has that. But mind you, he will soon sail across that sunset very soon. And Manchester United might be in the same place or might find themselves in the same situation that they were in the past three, four
yeah,
seasons.
yeah. Anyway, Matthew goes
I
on to
mean, that's my
say,
opinion. I'm not saying that that's fact, but I'm saying that's my
no,
opinion. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's fair enough, But anyway, he says Arteta sanctioned a new deal for Nketiah. He did as well. I think he's on 100 grand a week there, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and he says then again, Tillemans was right there for the taking. I believe he was, but I think he went and seen other plans, didn't he?
Anthony, let's pause a little bit. Let's talk about this Tillemans a little bit. Uh, Tillemans, mind you, Tillemans came with a fully a fully pumped Leicester City team, and they came down to Arsenal, to tickle us a little bit and tickle our fancy a little bit, and then they came, and then I just felt that that was a big audition for Tillemans. Anthony, if it was you, do you think you would splash out on Tillemans after that lackluster performance in at the Emirates on the day? Would you shell out £30 million for a player who
Trouble is,
just
though,
has
is
one
is
year
is
in his contract?
well, he's got 1 year in his contract. At the end of this season,
Exactly,
he's free,
exactly.
so he's free to wherever he wants to go to. Personally, I think he's going to go to somewhere like Juventus, somewhere like that. That's where I think he's going to go. It proves it. Like the way he played in his last game and it's against Arsenal, he didn't want to he didn't want to play, did he? His mind, his body's here, but his mind is somewhere else. The saying is, I think he wants to go. He wants to leave. I think he might go in January. When the window opens after World Cup, I think he will go. This would be he'll come on. He'll have short spells in games as well from here till January, and that's it. I think he'd be gone by then because you can tell the way he's playing. He doesn't really want to be there, does he? So
Yeah, but at the same time, you need to perform. When you're at an audition, you need to perform, and it's based on this performance. If you can be able to strike the fans of that club that hey,
mhm,
this is me. I've just announced myself here. I think there will be no excuse. They will go for him. I'll give you an example. Douglas Lewis came into the
yeah,
Emirates, and then he scored that lovely corner. You remember that, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that was a
Yeah, but
perfect
if I what Matthew
audition.
says there, you tried to sign Luis from Villa on deadline day, three bids rejected. It was three. I think the first one was 20 million, then it was 23, and then went up to 25. So, and
Exactly,
then, I mean, not being funny, if you've had your first two bids rejected, then your third one, you've got to have your plan B. You've got to have a backup to say, well, look, right, we can't get him, but we'll have to get this one instead. Like, but
exactly.
a no-brainer would have been Tillemans. But then again, what do I know?
Yeah, exactly. That one, it blew up right in our faces. It blew up right
Yeah.
in our faces.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I'll
yeah,
allow
I
you
think
move
I
to the
think
next, to the last
they
topic. I
both
think we
do.
have 10 minutes or so. So
Yeah, yeah. So
great show, guys. Please just like, subscribe. You know what to do. Just like, yeah,
yeah, so the next it's postponed games this weekend coming up. Obviously, we've had the bad news. Sadly,
yeah. Her soul rest in
our
peace.
Queen Elizabeth she
Yeah,
sadly passed away, which
yeah.
is sad
Sadly.
news. and
Mhm.
obviously it has a knock-on effects with people doing this out of respect. Obviously,
Yeah.
in honor for the Queen, which you can understand, by the way. You really can.
Yeah.
Um, what I want to know, Tony, is your thoughts on the postponed games. Obviously, you know what we just said, and
Yeah.
also, is there like one or two games maybe that sticks out in mind for you, play for this weekend?
Um, basically, of course, rest in peace to the Queen. It's a very sad situation. But of course, I really think that the Premier League did what was necessary. The only people that I'm a little bit, scared about, not really scared, but concerned about, is those traveling fans that bought this tickets. And mind you, Anthony, you know how the country is. Things are down, costs are up. So when you spend money on booking a hotel ready to watch a Premier League match, you should be getting there. So,
Mm.
did the Premier League think about this real good? Uh, I don't know about
No,
that. Yeah, I don't know about that. But out of respect for the Queen, I think something should have been done. But again, Anthony, just imagine you buzzing to go. You're in Bristol right now, and you really buzzing to just go down there to London and watch that match, and then you pay for a hotel, maybe for like 50 pounds or so, and then you pay for the ticket. Arsenal ticket is one of the most exorbitant tickets, in the whole country. And when you do this and spend that kind of money, and then the Premier League tells you, "Hey, the Queen died. Yes, we know this, but I'm sorry, you're not going to get any refunds for your hotels. You just lose those bookings, and of course, you just lose those tickets." Anthony, what do you think about that? If it was you in
yeah,
that
I mean,
shoe,
I
what
can
would you do?
understand. I mean, if it was me, from my point of view, I know I'd be a bit. In one way, you can be a bit upset, or annoyed that
Of course,
well, you can be because you're not getting that money back. But on
of
the
course,
other hand,
Tony.
you could still, yeah. But on the other hand, you can obviously understand the reasons why and the concepts why is everything is come to a postponed and all that and honor and respect obviously to the Queen's passing. So
Yeah,
is I mean is down in one way, but you can understand it in another, and and I'm all for that. Obviously with the Queen's
yeah,
passing and that, and
yeah.
but then again,
It's totally
you might get your money
understandable
back from
anyway.
the hotel. I think they would issue refunds in that on there where you go online and they're they'll put it back into your
Do you
account
really
anyway,
think
and
so,
they might
Anthony?
think about. Well, they might do. You never know, but I mean, you could give them a call.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but
King's
yeah,
Football
I mean,
Show.
I
Thank you very
obviously
much. Big up the panel. Thank you very much, brother. Please just these guys are really doing something great up here. Please support them. Please like, please share. They're really great guys down here. I'm just meeting Anthony for the first time. It's great to be here.
it's,
I'll
how
be
you
here
doing, mate?
again, definitely. Anthony is a great guy to discuss football with. He's cool, he's calm, he's collected, and our style matchup. So I would definitely be visiting here, down here and come talk football with Anthony. If it's Anthony, I'm gonna be here.
Oh, thank you, Tim. That makes it well, for a stream and that, but coming from you, 1 in a million, mate. 1 in a million.
Thanks, bro. Thanks, brother.
Right.
Thanks,
I
mate.
think that's pretty much all the topics discussed and all of that.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so before we go, can you let
I
everybody
just
know?
want to ask you a quick one, Anthony. We have
Yeah,
because the games in Europe is not being postponed, so we have our game against PSV intact for next week. So in
right.
that game with Arsenal versus PSV, who do you think is going to win? Just a quick one before you could round up.
There's a quick one. PSV.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest with you, they're a good team, but they're not as good as what they used to be. Um,
Mm,
is is a bit touch and go. My heart is saying a 2-1
yeah,
win, but my head's saying a 1-all draw. So I don't know which one to go, but it's not a
that's
loss. It's
fair.
not a loss. It's not a
That's
loss.
fair.
That's all I can say.
That's fair. I'll hold you on that word. No
Yeah, all be
problem.
to that. And when you come back on the show next time, you'll
Yeah.
remind me.
Yeah. You just let King know, and then I'll give up the clearances. I already like your person, so we could always do this show. I'm very very busy with my own schedule too, but I'll bring
Yeah,
out time for this show. I really like it. It's cool. If,
yeah.
if you're
No,
if
that's
you're
fine.
on, and maybe there's other panels, but provided you're on, I'll come to the show, Anthony.
Yeah. All right then,
Yeah,
Tony. Yeah, thanks,
yeah,
mate. Thanks for that.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, Before we go, did you want to let everybody know where they can find you and your socials and things
Oh,
like that?
Oh yeah, I run a channel. I founded a channel called Tony Cloud Gunner TV, and you can find me there at Tony Cloud. Cloud is spelled with a Claude Gunner TV at the end, and you could just find me there, and yeah, you can find me also on Twitter. I have my YouTube channel there too, where we'll talk everything about Arsenal. We also infuse other Premier League banters. Also, we'll talk about the league. I have the Minority Report. I'll have Real Talk. So I talk everything about Arsenal and the Premiership on that channel. So just try join us. It's a good one. Just try join us.
Okay, thank you, Tony.
Yeah.
Right, I think that's everything discussed. We've come to the end of the show.
Yeah.
So,
Anthony, please join me on my channel, and also join me on Instagram. I use the same
so yeah,
initials on Instagram. Please join me. So
yeah, I'm on Instagram. What I'll do, I'll follow you on Instagram, and that I think we could put something in the link in the description below, and
in the
that let
link.
people know,
Yeah, yeah,
and we'll get
yeah.
you some followers as well. Okay. All
Good,
right.
good,
So
good.
if anybody hasn't
Definitely.
subscribed to Tony's channel, get subscribed
Yeah,
to
please do.
Tony Cold Gunner TV.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you very
So
much. Yeah,
all right, and that's it.
yeah, yeah. Thank
I hope
you.
everybody
And
enjoyed the
yeah, I was
show,
going.
but
Bye,
it's the first
everyone.
time I was staying in, and that's it. So
It's okay, man.
everybody, take care and enjoy your
Take care,
weekend.
everyone. I'll see you
Bye.
soon. Bye. Bye.
No.